So James, we sit here on fixture release day and we now know what's ahead of us in the league campaign. What's your initial thoughts?
Yeah, it's the process, it's the excitement. Like it was great today being in a room with the fans when the fixtures come out, and you can see that the games are getting excited about. We, as a group, we've got the Premier Sports Cup, we've got a lot of preparation to do before we play Allo out there in the first game of the season. But like it's always exciting. You're looking for key dates in the season, and it maybe makes you realise the season's that wee bit closer when the fixtures do come out. But no, we're happy with them.
The first game is at home to Alloa, and we play them the week before in the Premier Sports Cup as well. And when we look back at our previous campaign in League One, it was a very similar situation where we played Cowdenbeath in the Cup and in the league both at home, and those games really allowed us to win matches and build momentum for the season going ahead. So it could be a good omen for us. It
could be, but it's going to be tough. They'll be a good side, and it'll be a tough game. But we'll take we've got East Fife coming up first in the 9th. That we need to take care of that game, and then we move on to the next one in the Premier Sports Cup. And by the time we get to Allo and the league, there'll be a completely different game from the one in the Premier Sports Cup. It could be different things at stake that day. Obviously, it would be a cup competition, and then you're coming into league. There's obvious differences, but we could need that one to get through in the Premier Sports Cup. We could already be through. The worst case scenario, you don't know what can happen, but let's make one thing clear: we're taking the Premier Sports Cup serious. It's one of the two major competitions in this country, so I know a lot of teams do take it as part of their pre-season. We won't be doing that, and it's not me trying to be brave and come out and say it. It's the way we say that every year. It's a massive part of the season, and we want to progress. But the two games coming together, in my opinion, won't have an effect. I've experienced it as a player. I've experienced it in playoffs as a manager. So you sometimes face the same team twice in a week or whatever, and it's two completely different games, and it'll be two completely different approaches, and we'll deal with it when it comes around.
You mentioned the engagement with the fans and the games that they were looking forward to, and I'm sure it was probably the derbies against Kelty and Falkirk that stood out for them. Were they the ones that you were looking out for as well?
No, the first one I looked at was Christmas for my 3 young daughters, to see where I would be round about then. So I'm pleased with that one for them. And then we know we're going to have to play all these teams. We know at some stage this season we're going home away, whatever it is, and you just need to deal with it the way the fixtures come out. And I know the ones the fans want you to win and they're desperate for you to win, but I'm desperate to win them all. And looking at it, that's the way we do. So if we move everything else out of the way and concentrate solely on the league, then it's Alloa here, and I'm sure there'll be a good crowd in. They'll be wanting to come back and see what the new signings, the new approach, the new Dunfermline, if you like, what's on show that day. So it'll be a good opening fixture, I'm sure.
You mentioned the festive fixtures there, and a bit different this year in terms of not on Boxing Day and maybe in between Christmas and New Year. It's Christmas Eve and then on to the 2nd of January. Do you kind of favour that approach? You were mentioning there about your kind of family time as well over the Christmas period.
I do favour it, yeah, I'll be completely honest. I know a lot of the foreign countries. Now, I've played in England, I've played in Scotland, I've travelled on Christmas Day, I've trained on Christmas Day, and I was maybe younger and it didn't bother me as much, but I always felt for the ones that did have families around about that time where it's a job. Now there's nurses, there's doctors, there's people working on Christmas Day, so this is football and it's still a joy to go out and train. But yeah, I'm glad it's before, and the players will get to spend, I've not looked at it enough, there's always scope for them to move games. So, but we just a quick glance at the fixtures this morning, the players will get to spend time with their family on Christmas Day, which I feel is important, yeah.